Once upon a time, there was a little baby nation born into existence known as the United States of America. This nation was unlike any that had ever been created before because it was founded on the beliefs of all people being created equal and that all people should have the chance to pursue life, liberty, and happiness no matter who you are, where you came from, how much money you have, what color your skin is. So this nation is born and it starts traveling along the path of its existence. So along the road, there's some bumps. There's some times we had to swerve. Sometimes we had to potentially battle ourselves to the death to save our country in the name of all people being created equal during the Civil War. Okay, we had some hard times. We've been through some stuff. But through that, we remembered who we were and the ideas we were founded on. There came a moment in time when this country started to veer off track and forget what the ideas were that we were founded on. As this happened, and we veered closer and closer to potentially falling off the cliff, people from around the world were watching. People around the world could see what was happening to us when we couldn't see it ourselves. People around the world were watching and waiting for multiple reasons. Some of them waiting for us to destroy ourselves. People in China are laughing at us and cheering us on right now because they see what we can't see right in front of our faces. They're waiting for us to fall just like they did when they fell into communism. They would love to see that happen. Bad guys around the world would love for the good guy of the world to fall, because when the good guy of the world falls, the great power that we have been, when we stand up for those across the globe, when they can't stand up for themselves, they would love to see that happen. People around the world can see exactly what's going on here, and we can't see it ourselves. Why is that? Probably because the lenses through which we view our information, the sources, the places we get our information, you can see a few here, but there are many more, have chosen to show us certain information and leave the rest out. I cannot explain why there's a very small number of people who own our media companies, the places we get our information, most of us, unless you're searching for good sources elsewhere. There's a very small number of people who own these companies. So if you're thinking like, oh, I listen to this radio station and that TV station and that social media station, and like I get my information from lots of places. I can't explain why. It doesn't make sense. But most likely you're seeing mostly the same information, and it is very, very likely that the most important information is being left out. I believe 100% with all my heart that if we all were seeing and hearing the same information, that the vast majority, that this election would not even be a thing. Wouldn't even be a thing. Okay? Because we would see that there is a greater danger than people voting the other way. We would see that they're trying to divide and conquer us. And we are just totally playing into it. We're totally going along with it. Friends, it is vital at this moment in time, those of you who are watching along, you must join in. You must join in with this fight. I'm trying to share some ways that you can do that. I'm going to be putting together a whole list of resources on my website in the next several hours here as soon as I record this. on my website of unbiased information, things not coming from parties, things coming from a lot of these groups that have been set up to try to protect our freedoms because they are being eroded. I would say in front of our faces, they are. But when our news stories aren't taught, our news stations and wherever we get our information from, when they're not telling us about it, we've just been letting it happen and not doing anything. If you want my honest opinion, I think we should all be terrified. But that's not what I'm here for. And honestly, I'm here to try to offer you hope and something productive that we can do. And I don't think any of us should live in fear. So to follow up on all of those comments, what can we be doing? How are we not going to live in fear? What can we be doing? We need to be searching, make sure we are listening to information on opposing views, conservative and liberal, liberal and conservative, people who claim they're unbiased, most of them are. Like, why and why? Okay, so a lot of people are wondering, well, you can't find anything unbiased anymore. You know why? Because when you're a nation founded on a certain set of principles, then you veer off course. What you're left with are the people who are still fighting for the principles your nation was founded on, and the people who are just going along with it and playing into it and trying to deceive everyone else. So if you feel like there's no information in the middle anymore, you're probably right, because this is where we're at. This is the moment we've come to. And you have to decide. I can't believe after I started doing this, I realized like how confused people are and how many of you are like, I'm just not even going to vote. This is so stupid. I'm not going along with this. I don't even know. I don't like my options. I don't I know. Okay, so this is helping me to realize we'll probably have a chat on this in the next few days. It is vital. It is vital that you make some time, okay? We're like happy and we're comfortable here in our US of A with our expensive homes and our comfy couches and way more food than we can ever eat and all the clothes you can want and our social media scroll and all the TikToks and the reels and the whatever you can want in your $5 coffee every day. And like, we're just happy and we're comfortable. And you know what comfort breeds? Laziness, ambivalence, not paying attention. And that goes along with what they want to. It is vital at this moment in time. If you care about the world you are going to live in, if you care about the world your kids, your grandkids are going to live in, it is vital that we take some of that time binge watching your Netflix or scrolling your social media or getting your massage or having your me time or like whatever it is. This is important, and it's important now. It is important that we do our research and we can stand firm on the information that we have found. If you're confused, if you're like, please look for some information coming from sources you haven't heard before, coming from the side of the story that you haven't been listening to. I believe with all my heart that 90% of Americans would stand together if we knew what was going on. What can you do? My website, I'm going to be putting lots of resources on there. I've been calling all y'all. We have got to turn to our faith. And if you don't know faith, we're going to talk more about it in the next few days. There is a God who created every one of us, who sent his son to die for our sins And no matter what you've done or what you've been through or what's been done to you or what you've been told, he loves you and he wants to have a relationship with you. And this is why we do not have to live in fear. Because no matter what happens around us, no matter what happens with this election, no matter what happens with our system of government that has done a good job of taking care of us for the most part so far, no matter what happens in your world, with your family, with your health, with your struggles, with whatever it is, he loves you and he will take care of you if you turn to him, if you ask him into your heart. We're going to talk about that more. We must turn to God, friends. I'm calling people to join me in praying for our nation at 6:30 every day, 6:30 p.m. as the news gets turned on. Turn an alarm on your phone to remind you. Pray with me. Let's turn our faces to the one who holds all the answers and will take care of us no matter what if we look to him. Join me in fasting on Fridays. Join me in organizing group prayer sessions, organized prayer on election day. From the time the polls open to the time the polls close, or if it's just for a half an hour or an hour with a group of people, organize shifts with people to take over. Sit at polls with a sign that says pray for USA. People will come and join you. We are more alike than we are different. Let's stand together. Let's stand for what we believe. Take a stand. Take a stand now.